Greetings, film fans. John Campea here with AMC Movie News, and probably, from what I can remember in my lifetime, the biggest movie news I have ever heard. It is being reported that Disney Studios has bought Lucasfilm and, of course, all the rights to Star Wars. And the second part of that news is that Disney is planning on giving us Star Wars Episode 7 in 2015, which means basically they're going to give us Avengers and the next Star Wars in the same year. First of all, I'm going to start. I want the reaction from Miss Jenna Busch, who is, of course, the entertainment editor over at Fanhattan. Jenna, what did you think when you heard this news? I
may have jumped out of my seat, squealed, run around the room, and scared the heck out of my cat. I am so excited about this. Look, we all know that I'm not a huge fan of the prequels, but the idea that Disney, which has done such amazing things for Marvel, is going to take something like Star Wars, which I have loved since it first came out when I was a little tiny kid, it just blows my mind. I'm really excited. I mean, yes, I know there's totally potential for things to go wrong. Of course, there always is. They have to get the right director. It's got to be the right story, but oh my God, I'm kind of losing my mind.
Kofi, what about you?
Well, I know how the internet is tending to have these knee-jerk reactions, and we're already kind of seeing everybody screaming no, like Darth Vader at the end of Episode 3. But the truth is, from my own opinion, as someone who didn't love the prequels either, that Lucas wasn't exactly knocking it out of the park, in my opinion, with the property in the last 10 years or so. And as Jenna pointed out, Disney did pretty good with the Avengers and working with Marvel, and it sounds like they are allowing that to kind of flourish going forward. So I'm actually optimistic. I'm a person who's been secretly waiting for this to get a kind of mulligan for a long time, and now we're kind of getting it.
Okay, but this begs the question. If they very specifically didn't just say another Star Wars movie. They said Star Wars Episode 7. Where do you go with Episode 7? I mean, there are people like me who have secretly been yearning and crying into my pillow at night, hoping to see an Heir to the Empire series. But, I mean, are they planning on getting Harrison Ford back? Are they going to get Mark Hamill back? Jenna, where do you think they can go with a Star Wars Episode 7 at this point?
I mean, I don't know. I'm a little concerned about this because I don't know if they can get them back. I mean, of course, it's also been my wish to see that happen for years. It would be amazing if they did. But here's the thing. If you bring everyone back, does that make everyone, does it get everyone's expectations so high that there's really no way that it can do anything but fail? I'm not sure. I mean, I know I've been hearing rumors about this for years. I don't know. I have a feeling they'll go a different way with that.
Kofi, what do you think?
I think, as is kind of the standard now in a lot of these kind of franchise switches, you bridge the old with the new. You bring back some of the older faces as, cameos and Easter eggs. Han Solo as a elderly statesman, Luke Skywalker as a old wise Jedi. But you bring in some new blood, definitely, for a new generation. You give it a makeover with modern effects, maybe a little more grounded than some of the prequels were, but you kind of mix a little bit of the old with the new, and you kick off a new universe with elements of the old there for head nods and winks, while we kind of push forward with something new. It's going to get ugly when you try to get into the fan community who have been reading the Star Wars fan fiction and all the fiction that has already expanded this universe. I'm sure they're going to be pretty vocal about whatever direction they go in, because this is going to be a convoluted roadmap for them. But I think Disney knows somewhat how to build these franchises. Hopefully this turns out more like Avengers and less like, say, Tron or John Carter. But I definitely think it'll be a mix of the old and the new.
I actually have to agree with that. And I think something that should be said about Marvel is they did take something that was a huge fan property with so many different retcons and all of that, the Avengers, and I mean, there are so many different versions of that. They managed to navigate it really well. So I think they're probably going to do the same thing with Star Wars.
Of course, the little bit of an uphill battle thing here is that not only do you have massive expectations on one hand, it's kind of like two sides of the same coin. You have massive fan expectations, but you also have to kind of make up for the prequels at the same time. So I'm going to be fascinated to see where this is going. And one of the things that is clear, if they're announcing that this film is going to be ready in 2015, that means they have already got their plans in place for what they're making. I mean, this thing has to go in production soon. So they must already know where they're going. So I expect that over the coming months, we're going to hear where that's going to take us. I want to thank from ScreenRant.com, Mr. Kofi Outlaw. Kofi, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
From Fanhattan and also a regular on AMC Movie Talk, Miss Jenna Busch.
Thanks. So excited.
And me too. Biggest movie news I think of my lifetime. Folks, leave us your comments below. Let us know your reaction to this news. Is this as fantastic as I think it is? Do you think this is horrible news? Let us know your thoughts. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, my name's John Campea. Bye-bye.